Hey, what up? Just want to make a quick video. This is a recap of the last week bout between Errol Spence and Danny Garcia. Um, I thought, well, I was wrong with my prediction. I thought, Errol Spence would stop him. He didn't get the stoppage, but nothing the less, the fight was a good fight. I actually thought, in my opinion, even though it was a kind of a shutout, I didn't get to see the fight again. I didn't watch the fight again. But even though it was a shutout performance by Errol Spence, within that same shutout performance, I actually thought Danny Garcia did better than I thought he would. Even though he lost most of the rounds, I thought he put a better or a better conservative effort than I thought he was. That I thought he would. I thought he was more aggressive than I thought he would have been. I mean, he wasn't that aggressive, but I didn't think he would be that active in the fight. He actually threw quite a lot of punches that fight, or double the amount that he would have thrown in any other big fight. So I thought he did pretty good on that aspect. I thought he had some good counters. I thought he had some good showing within the fight a little bit. And that's not to say that Errol Spence didn't do a good job on his win, but I just thought Danny Garcia did better than I thought. But nothing less though is Errol picked him apart. Errol, his jab was the whole story of that fight, and Danny Garcia said it himself. That jab was he had a really tough job with that jab. The jab, the what else? The occasional work to the body by Errol Spence was good too. I think Danny had some good couple hooks to the body too during the fight. Um, I think mutually from both fighters, I think they both had respect for each other and respect for their the other person's ability and his ability to have you know power too. I think they both respected each other's power. I think Errol Spence during the fight, I don't remember what round, but I think it was early on. Early on, I don't know if it was a shot to the solar plexus, but it moved Danny, and I think Danny from that point on, he he seen that Errol had some power, and he was gonna have to be not cautious but careful. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember what round it was, but I think it was early into the fight. Um, and I don't remember where it was, but I know it was a straight left, and it moved Danny visibly. And I think from that point on, Danny's like, all right, this guy got some power, or yeah, I gotta be careful. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't. I will say this: Danny did not necessarily fight a careful fight or a cautious fight. I think he took his chances um, during the fight. But Danny is always Danny. He doesn't have a high motor or necessarily a sense of urgency when he fights. Even like I said last video, I said Danny's gonna have to take throw a lot more punches if he's gonna want to compete in this fight. And guess what? He did. But at the same time, he didn't have any sense of urgency. You know what I'm saying? Like 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 he didn't like. There's no sense of urgency. Like he didn't lose all his other title fights, and now he has to win this right now. Like he has to win this. Like it's like a do or die situation. He didn't have that kind of urgency behind himself. So Danny Garcia is always Danny Garcia, and that's what happens when you. And this is the issue I have with people who become too much of a counterpuncher. They become too much of a counterpuncher to the point where they never have a urgency to be first ever, you know. And that's kind of what Danny Garcia is. He's too much of a counter punches at some point. At some point, you gotta lead. You know what I'm saying? You gotta lead. You gotta be the aggressor. You gotta be the person who's gonna try to put the other guy on the other on their back foot. And that's what happens when, especially with Danny Garcia, he doesn't. It's not that he doesn't utilize his jab, but he doesn't use it as a a a weapon to push someone back. Even if you don't land a jab, like use it to set up a straight right or something. You know what I'm saying? Or use it to push the person back or to get the person thinking a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Mix up the jab. He's not really a jabber like Errol Spence. And the same thing I could say with Adrian Broner. He's become too much of a counter puncher where he's not really aggressive. He's inactive. You know what I'm saying? And they become too much of um, looking for something. You know what I'm saying? Looking for a counter or looking for to get. It becomes too much, and it annoys me to watch fighters like that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? When they become too much of a counter puncher. Um, Earl's the complete opposite. Not that it's not to say that Earl can't counterpunch, but he's gonna be first all the time. That's He's gonna be first. He's gonna look to be first, and he's at the same time he's also defensively responsible, and so that's just what it is. And I thought during what round? I think between 7 round 7 or 8. It looked like Errol Spence picked up his aggression, and he started that couple. And between those rounds, he started to really pummel and put it on Danny Garcia. And I felt like if he continued that the next round, if he would have continued that same aggression, he could have really put a hurting on Danny Garcia. I think he left Danny Garcia off the hook because he stopped. He didn't go to the same. He didn't continue that same aggression. Um, And Danny Garcia would land some good during the fight. Danny Garcia would land some good counter punches during the fight. You know, he'll land some good shots here and there, but nothing really hurt Errol Spence during the fight. And so during rounds, I think is it 9 and 10. I think those 2 rounds you could visibly see that Errol Spence just really just took his foot off the gas and just gave those 2 rounds to Danny Garcia. Within this fight, I didn't give. It's been a week since I've seen it, so I'm gonna have to watch the fight to be sure of myself. But I would say during the fight, I didn't even give Danny Garcia more than 3 rounds, if not 2. So yeah, but I think during the last couple rounds, Errol Spence not only took his foot off the gas, but maybe his conditioning caught up with him. Maybe I don't know if it's for whatever reason he looked visibly tired. His punches didn't have as much oomph to them. Usually, you know, Errol Spence doesn't get tired at all, or his punches always have the same amount of thud or whatever you want to say throughout the whole fight. But this first fight I've ever seen him look a little tired in the last round. But like I said, I don't know if it was between the 7th or 8th round. I thought he could have really put a beating or even a hurting on him. But nothing less to say. I thought it was a good fight. I thought it was a interesting fight. Like I said, I thought within this blowout fight, I still think Danny Garcia did more than I thought he would have done. I thought he did better than I thought he was going to do. Um, he definitely did better than the other Garcia, Mikey Garcia. Um, Now, what does Danny Garcia goes from here? I don't know. I think there's still good fights that are out there for him. I think a fight with Mikey Garcia will be pretty good. A fight with guys could be good. And Garcia, Danny Garcia was straight up. He said it was a jab, and Errol Spence was the better man. So there was no lying or being a sore loser on his part or any excuses on his part. Um, where does Errol Spence go here? Goes from here? Sky's the limit for him because he's only going to get better, especially coming after this car accident and everything. And he's gonna be training with his um his old strength and conditioning coach Blu-ray. So he's only gonna get stronger now. He's gonna go. It seems like he's gonna get back to his old self as being a much more stronger fighter in there, especially when it comes to the punching power. I'm really excited. Want to see how he'll do next fight, especially with Blu-ray back in the camp. I'm really happy about that, and we'll see. He's trying to get Manny Pacquiao. Um, obviously, you want that Terrence Crawford fight. Um, if that fight can happen next year or the ending of next year, that'll be good. I think that should be the order of what should happen. But I think Manny Pacquiao fight could be good. Because he has a belt, so we'll see. Overall, good fight, good effort by Danny Garcia, better than I thought, but I knew it wouldn't be enough. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I hit y'all later.